Part 1, God's utterances to the entire universe. Introduction. God's utterances to the entire universe are utterances expressed by Christ, in which he employs the identity of God himself. They cover the period from the 20th of February, 1992 to the 1st of June, 1992, and are comprised of a total of 47 utterances. In this portion of utterances, God expresses his words from the perspective of the Spirit. The manner in which he speaks is unattainable by created mankind. Moreover, the vocabulary and style of his words are beautiful and moving, and no form of human literature could take their place. The words with which he exposes man are accurate, they are irrefutable by any philosophy, and they bring all people into submission. Like a sharp sword, the words with which he judges man cut straight to the depths of people's souls, even leaving them with no place to hide. The words with which he comforts people carry mercy and loving kindness. They are warm as a loving mother's embrace, and they make people feel secure as never before. The single greatest characteristic of these utterances is that, during this stage, God does not speak using the identity of Jehovah or Jesus Christ, nor of Christ of the last days. Instead, using his inherent identity, the Creator, he speaks to and teaches all those who follow him and have yet to follow him. It is fair to say that this was the first time since the creation that God had addressed all mankind. Never before had God spoken to created mankind in such detail and so systematically. Of course, this was also the first time he had spoken so much, and for so long, to all mankind. It was totally unprecedented. What's more, these utterances were the first text expressed by God among mankind in which he exposed people, guided them, judged them, and spoke heart to heart to them, and so, too, were they the first utterances in which God let people know his footsteps, the place in which he lies, God's disposition, what God has and is, God's thoughts, and his concern for mankind. It can be said that these were the first utterances that God had spoken to mankind from the third heaven since the creation, and the first time that God had used his inherent identity to appear and express his voice to mankind amid words. The utterances are profound and unfathomable. They are not easy to understand, nor is it possible to grasp the origins and purposes of God's words. Thus, Christ has added an explanation after each utterance, using language that is easy for man to comprehend to bring introduction clarity to the greater part of the utterances. This, combined with the utterances themselves, makes it easier for everyone to understand and know God's words. We have made these words an appendix to God's utterances to the entire universe. In them, Christ provides explanations using the most easy to understand wording. The combination of the two is the perfect marrying of divinity and God in humanity. Although God speaks in the perspective of the third person in the appendix, no one can deny that these words were personally uttered by God, for no human can explain God's words clearly, only God himself can elucidate the origins and purposes of his utterances. Thus, although God speaks using many means, the aims of his work never change, nor does the objective of his plan ever alter. Although God's utterances to the entire universe ends with an utterance in which God parts with man, in fact, this was when God's work of conquest and salvation among man, and his work of making people perfect, was officially unveiled. Thus, it is more suitable for us to regard God's utterances to the entire universe as the prophecy of God's work of the last days. For only after this point did the incarnate Son of Man officially begin to work and speak using the identity of Christ, walking among the churches and providing life, and watering, and shepherding all his people, which gave rise to the many utterances in the words of the Son of Man incarnate as he walked in the churches. The first utterance: do those who witness my words really accept them? Do you really know me? Have you truly learned obedience? Do you sincerely expend yourselves for me? Have you really borne strong, unyielding witness to me in the face of the great red dragon? Does your devotion truly humiliate the great red dragon? Only through the trial of my words can I achieve my goal of purifying the church and choosing those who truly love me. For how else could anyone understand me? Who can understand my majesty, my wrath, and my wisdom through my words? I will finish what I have started, but still it is I who measures the hearts of men. In truth, no man fully understands me, so I guide them with words, and lead them into a new era this way. In the end I will complete all of my work through my words, and bring those who truly love me back to my kingdom, to live before my throne. The situation is not what it once was, and my work has entered a new starting point. That being so, there will be a new approach. Those who read my word and accept it as their very life are the people of my kingdom. Since they are in my kingdom, they are my people in the kingdom. Because they are guided by my words, although they are referred to as my people, this title is not at all inferior to being called my sons. As my people, all must be faithful in my kingdom and fulfill their duties, and those who offend my administrative decrees must receive my punishment. This is my warning to all. As now a new approach is used, all that from the past need not be said again. However, I have said these words: what I have said must be counted, what is counted must be completed, and this cannot be changed by anyone. This is absolute. Whether it be what I have said in the past or what I say in the future, all will come to be, and all of mankind will see this. This is the principle behind the work of my words. As the construction of the church has already been achieved, it is now no longer the era of church building, but rather the era in which the kingdom is successfully built. However, as you are still on earth, your assemblies will remain known as the church. Nevertheless, the essence of the church is not the same as it once was, and it has shown true success. Therefore, I say my kingdom has descended to earth. None can grasp the root of my words, nor can they understand the purpose behind them. As I speak today, you may experience an epiphany. Perhaps some will burst out weeping, others may feel afraid that this is the way that I speak. Some may maintain an old-fashioned perspective to my every action, some may regret their complaints or resistance to me, some may inwardly rejoice, for they have never strayed from my name, and now today are revived. Perhaps some people were rattled by my words long ago, and they hover between life and death, dispirited and downcast, and no longer have the heart to hear the words I speak even if I choose a different manner of expression. There may be some who are so devoted to me that they have never complained, never doubted, and today are fortunate enough to gain release and feel gratitude in their hearts toward me that is beyond words. Everyone falls under these categories to varying degrees. But as the past is the past, and now is the present, there is no need to long for the past any longer, or to worry about the future. Among men, those who go against reality and do not do things according to my guidance will not come to a good end, and will only bring trouble upon themselves. Of everything that occurs in the universe, there is nothing that I do not have the final say in. What exists that is not in my hands? All that I say goes, and among men, who is there who can change my mind? Could it be the covenant I made on the earth? Nothing can hinder my plan. I am ever present in my work as well as in the plan of my management. What man can interfere? Is it not I who has personally made these arrangements? Entering into this situation today, it still does not stray from my plan or what I foresaw. It was all determined by me. long ago. Who among you can fathom my plan for this step? My people will listen to my voice, and each and every one of those who truly loves me shall return before my throne. February 20, 1992. The